Greetings. This is Jesus of Nazareth.
Greetings, Jesus.
I
Welcome.
have come because the season requires it almost, but I don't have much to say except be well, be happy, and find a great joy in the season. Find a great joy in your families. Find great joys in your friends. Find great joy in the atmosphere that may not support great joy. This is a time for differences to be mended. This is a time for life to be uplifted, for it is a renewal period. It's a time for great energy, a time for great understanding, and a time for healing. Not only the physical kind of healing, where you can touch and become a great healer for others, but mental and emotional healing as well. And I think that is the greater of the healing for this season. Many of you have those that you cannot get along with, or those that you feel that you have, that you no longer can communicate with. This is a time for forgiveness for yourself and for them. And it may not be that you will be able to immediately reconnect or bond, but it is a time for a new beginning with how you look at that situation. Look at it differently if you are no longer seeing it as a positive. You must bring it around to a positive thought process and start to heal it within yourself first. And as that healing is complete within you, it moves out into the world, and you are a healer as well in more ways than you were originally. How many have a question?
Are there any questions in the room?
It is self-evident that healing is this season.
Ava has a question.
Hello.
Yes.
Kathleen, you need to wait.
Hi, Jesus. Thank you for coming to talk to us. I almost hesitate to talk because personally I do have, although I know how amazing, loving being you are, but at the same time I also feel injured by Catholic religion. I grew up. So my question is, you came to help and move humanity forward into state of love. But many kind of manipulated your teachings into harming a lot of people, which is still going on. Can you say, is there any chance that you come back? And
I am already on the earth.
I don't know even how to say, because so many need to hear your true teachings, not your deeply manipulated.
Listen carefully. The religions of the world have taken philosophies and great truths and put them into an establishment, a religion, if you will. They've taken spirituality and made it into a religion. And religion does not always speak to the soul, but it speaks to the man that created it, or the man that wants to be, or the woman that wants to be in a group that is symbolizing spirituality, but not necessarily holding spirituality. Do not listen to things of these religions that do not resonate with you. The Spirit speaks to each heart. He does not speak to a building, but he speaks to a heart. He speaks to a soul. He speaks to the mind. Remember that the damage that religion has done is not the fault of spirituality. It is not at fault in some ways at all. It came about by a need for inclusion. There's so many reasons why religion has come about, but spirituality can live inside of these religious establishments when God is speaking to the heart, when I am speaking to the soul, when the spirit is growing within each individual. I know harm has been done with many religions because they're not inclusive, they're not loving, they're not many things. But God is. I am. Do not look anymore to the building and the dogma and the rules and the regulations that were made by man to keep everything in order, but look at God's rule for the heart. Do unto others as they would have them do unto you. Have no other God before me. These are the kinds of things we need to conceptualize within ourselves, not as a building full of people and rules and regulations, but a heartfelt being outside that is looking for an inroad to be part of your life, to help guide and direct you in a very positive way that you cannot do on your own.
Thank you so much. You mentioned that you are already on Earth. Can you say a little bit about that?
Not much.
Are you in a physical body?
I'm going to refrain from that right now because it's not a necessity for this conversation. But yes, I am in a body, but that's not important right now.
Okay, thank you so much.
The Spirit of God is what is important right now. That you embrace God in His truth, His love, His kindness, His understanding, and understand that He is not the judge, the hateful judge that he is often seen as.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There's a question from Dawn. Go ahead, Dawn.
Blessings, brother. I would like to ask you, did you appear in the Notre Dame Cathedral this week? Because, the church burned down this week. I just wondered.
Yes, it is only, yes, I was there, and it is only a building, even though it has great history and great spirituality attached to it. There are also some very big lies attached to it as well. They say that my crown of thorns is there. They say that pieces of the cross are there. They say that relics are there that people would use to build their faith, but they do not need these fake relics to build their faith in God. Just know that God is with you and that he can work through any piece of wood or any thorn to give you whatever justification that you need in understanding me. Do not be put off, or do not be so involved in these fake relics that you don't see the true spirit. And it was only a building. It was only a building.
Thank you. Blessings.
Blessings.
Thank you. David has a question. Go ahead, David.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well.
Good to speak with you again. I have a question about I have a healing group, and somebody contacted me and mentioned some things that sounded like she was in danger, and I wanted to see if you were able to give me any information to see if she's safe now in this situation until I can get a longer private session. And she mentioned demons, and some people have died, and I just wanted to make sure that she was currently safe. Do you need a name now?
They need to be calling on the spirit for this.
Okay.
Because they're focused on the negativity. They're focused on the destruction. They're focused on the power of the evil. And guess what? That can be reduced to nothing with the Spirit of God. God is the light that cuts through the darkness and will destroy evil, if you want to call it that. Some say negativity, some say positivity. Whatever terms you use, God is the true light and can cut through that. So send that to them. Send them the light so they can stand and look at that and feel protected by it, because God is their protection. God is the spirit of protection, and he will send the angels and whoever is necessary if they only would ask and believe.
Beautiful. I love it.
Well, it's the truth.
That's what's so good.
Yes. Ask and believe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I love you, brother.
Love you as well.
Michelle has a question. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hi. I'm curious to know, you introduced yourself as Jesus of Nazareth, and then there's also regular Jesus with nothing attached, and then there's Jesus Christ, and then there's the Christed energy, and then there's Yeshua. Is that all the same frequency, or are those different frequencies?
They're all the same now. They used to be different frequencies in some ways, but now they are all the same.
So basically that's whether I call on during healing, if I call on Jesus or Yeshua.
Listen carefully. My spirit is in one place now.
So is like Aquarian fire got a different frequency than holy fire? I mean, there's like 1,000 different kinds of Reiki with different.
Of course.
So they do.
What comes down, energy is energy. And if you call it whatever, if it is the energy that is working for you, you may give it a label of any kind. As long as it's a healing energy, you may use it in a very positive way.
Is it, I guess I just wanted to know really about if the names that we have for you like had different frequencies. Okay.
These different labels and frequencies, if you call them that, are all come together.
Okay. Thank you.
Give them all the same frequency and all the same name, for they are just a label. The Spirit of God is that which you are wanting. The spirit of healing, beautiful truth, and love. No matter what name you use, if your intention is to bring down the healing from the heavens, from God, from the true light, then you are in good hands.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if is it the human mind? We think more is more. So like if I am doing a healing session and I call on, I don't know, 8 or 10, let's say four specific archangels and 4 specific ascended masters.
They
Like,
all
is
have
that necessary, or could I just go God?
You make me laugh because all these different energies have their own reasons for existing.
Right.
And God and myself, we work together, and the angels work with us. And if you feel more comfortable to call on an angel for certain energies and certain gifts, then do so. We are not offended because we know that you are looking to the light to find your beauty and your salvation and your healing.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I'm making things more complicated than they need to be.
Simplify. Simplify, my daughter. Simplify.
Right.
It is not that difficult.
Okay, thanks.
We are here, and that's all there is to it, and we can be there.
Excellent.
Much love to you, and many blessings.
Thank you.
Catalin has a question. Go ahead, Catalin. He was waiting.
Yes, hello. Hello, I so appreciate I'm actually have the opportunity to hear you and observe you and connect with you. Um, I I'm very excited about it, and I have much love for you.
And I have much love for you, and thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love. Thank you for all that you do when you give. And thank you for all that you do to help others. For I see in your mind that desire to be a servant. Thank you.
That was all I needed to hear, and that was all I needed to say. Thank you very much.
Bless you, and many blessings to you.
Thank you. There are some questions in the chat. If you don't mind, we can continue. Trinity has the question. She says, is it possible for humans to be born with spirits from the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensions? Can they go back to their realm when the body dies? Or do they have to go through the human process first?
I'm not sure that, yes, first of all, yes. You come from other places. There is reincarnation. The Bible speaks about it, but yet the church has sort of poo-pooed it. But it is not for the church to do so when it is part of who we are, pure energy and pure life forces, that we can come and live eternally. When you live eternally, does that mean you have to live eternally in one place?
Exactly, yeah.
No, it does not. It means that you can decide in your eternity where you want to go and what you want to do. So yes, you can be born with spirits from another realm, but it is the Spirit of God still. Mm. It is still God's Spirit, even though it may seem different. It may come from a different place. But once you go through, once you are here in this body, yes, you must go through this body, because this body is about overcoming. This life is about overcoming, and so is almost every life, is learning to overcome those things that are not so good.
Mm.
Learning to overcome and be the greater person. Learning to be who you really truly are.
Mhm.
When you overcome all the difficulties of this life, you become that strong individual that is happy to be who you are.
Mm.
There is joy in becoming the person that God created you to be. Listen to that. There is joy in becoming the person that God created you to be. And when you reach that place where you're happy, and you know that you are happy with who you are, oh, you may not be perfect, and you will not be perfect, but you're happy about who you become and what you're doing and how you're living. You are in alignment with God, in his spirit of who you are and who he is with you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. This feeds into a very good question. It's from AJ. It says, how do you heal? And you address this a little bit. I have an answer for this as well, but
How do you heal?
no, wait. I didn't finish. It says, how do you heal past pain that someone can sustain from growing up fearful in religion?
Oh, you have to remember that religion and God are not the same thing.
Exactly. Yep.
And remember that spirit and religion are not the same thing. And remember that people hurt you and not God.
Thank you. Then Jay says.
Well, Karen.
Go forward. Yes.
Before we move on, what is your answer to that question?
It was exactly the same. That I've said many times that as I grew up in my life, my only focus has always been God. And as I encountered many different people, my question was, did they have the same love for God that I did? And when I would be in a situation such as a type of church or organized place, it wasn't a question ever of, do I still love God and who is God for me? But it was a matter of, does that church or does that institution help me to have more of what I want, which is God? And when the answer became no, it wasn't that I got mad at God or blamed God or thought God wasn't real. I just realized that there was fallacies and shortcomings within the institutions, and I would just move on. But my love for you and my love for, for wanting to know God has never altered in any way, despite the places or the people that I've come in contact with.
You see, I'm glad that I asked you to say that, because you said it in a very different way, and some people that didn't understand the way I said it understood the way you said it.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Let us move on.
Okay. Jay says, hello, brother. He says to you, I love you. What desire to do is for the greater good. I have concluded that this is what he says. He says, I have concluded that my best counsel is myself. But what advice can you give me that will assist me on my mission?
You are right. Your best counsel is yourself with the help of God, because only you know what is right for you and what is right for your mission and what is the right way to proceed. What I would say to you is this: find yourself in meditation and prayer and know that God will be there with you, and he will help guide and direct in every way you and your decisions. And your best counsel is you and God together.
Perfect. Lilypad says, Jesus, what is the relationship between the soul and the spirit?
The soul is what God created within you, within every person. He gave a little bit of himself to every living being. And all that energy in the soul is your God part. Your God part is the soul. And it has all your creative elements, everything, every kind of energy you can imagine. And your spirit is what feeds the soul during your life. Your spirit. You bring in God. You bring in the beauty of the spirit outside of yourself to feed the soul and the body and the personal spirit, so that it can grow and be a witness to a light to the world, and a witness to the world in a way that is beautiful and unjudgmental and inclusive and loving and healing and so many things. So the soul is the basis of who you are. God's flame within you, his basic thought process for you. And who you really are is in the soul that God gave you. The spirit outside of that feeds the soul and feeds the spirit, your personal spirit as well. I think it's probably said better in other ways, but I think I covered it.
I think you did too. Thank you for that. Then there's a question that says, let me see. Wait, there's so many questions now.
Whoa.
Okay, Jesus, Lilypad says, Jesus, what is the relation? Oh no, I asked that question. Okay, Tanya says, overcoming means always just forgiving the self and all others?
Not necessarily. There may be things within you that you have to overcome. Within your own personal life, there may be things that that you need to overcome. Perhaps you have prejudices. Perhaps you have thoughts that are unclear, or you feel that are negative, and you want to overcome these things within yourself. And yourself is where everything starts first. You must cleanse yourself and be true and pure with yourself before you can ever forgive anyone outside, over here or over there. I know that many of you are dealing with people that have hurt you or things that have hurt you, but you must cleanse from the inside first. Ask God to come and forgive you and cleanse you out, and then you have the ability to say, I forgive you. Because truly, if you are cluttered within yourself, how can you forgive others if you feel that you are unforgiven?
Thank you. And here's a really nice question that I think a lot of people can relate to, and I think this will be the last question. It says, what do you do when you feel like you are here in life for no specific reason?
You realize that that's not the truth. Because, let me tell you this, there are many different blinders that people put on not to see who they are. That just tells me you haven't discovered yourself. You haven't gone in to see who you really are, what your talents, where your talents lie, or what it is that you really want to do. I would get in touch with yourself through the spirit, do some meditation and prayer if you really care. There are many people walking around the world that don't care who they are, or if they help anybody, or if they do anything. But if you truly care about who you are, what kinds of things you can do, what kinds of positivity or what kinds of things that are within you that are not being able to be seen at this time, then you can go in and find that. There are ways and means. Let me tell you this about you. I'm looking into you right now, and you are someone that is creative. But you're saying, how is that going to help somebody else? Guess what? Help yourself first. Help yourself be the true you. Be the true mindset of who you are. Be the true God person that he wants you to be, and you will be an amazing individual. And you have way more talents than you even know. As you grow and develop in God, God grows and develops in you.
Yeah. Well, Jesus feels so strange just to say Jesus, like, hi, Jesus. But
all right, I'm just a man, but I'm here to give information. I give help with the spirit of mankind.
well, thank you. I would like to say Jesus, sir.
No.
A little respect. But thank you so very much. And people in the chat have requested, and I wholeheartedly agree, that before you go, would you please give us a blessing?
I will.
Lead us in a prayer or meditation, whatever you feel.
I'm going to bring a blessing to this group. God, my heavenly Father of love and light, thank you for being here with us today. And thank you for the information that you pour on to this planet and into each and every person. Help us to understand you in a greater and more wonderful and useful way. Help us to love in a greater and more useful way, and to heal each other. Because we are here to lift each other up. We are here to become the true person that you have meant us to be. And we are here to also help others see the light and be a part of your great, beautiful influence. Thank you, my Father, for the healing that you are doing, for the love that you are shedding and spreading. Thank you for every moment of the day that we are alive, that we can live and find peace and joy and tranquility within you. Bring to us all the things that we require. Bring to us all the things that help us to be truly ourselves. For that is where the light shines out from us the greatest, is when we are truly immersed in you and in your will. Many, many thanks. Much praise. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy Easter to you.
Thank you.
And please come again. You don't come enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure to be here.
Very nice to be here as well. Okay.
Good night and good day and good morning, for the world is in all transitions. Be well.
Much love.